Well, guys, I'm Carolyn. Here is a quick video on how to make some chocolate because, yeah, it's super easy, raw chocolate recipe. I have already everything prepared here and we're just gonna go through it real quick. So the easiest part about this is that it's melted coconut oil and cocoa powder in a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? So typically when I make this recipe, it may not sound like a lot, but 3 tablespoons of coconut oil and 3 tablespoons of cacao powder actually makes a lot of chocolate. I have tripled the recipe in what you're looking at right now. So tripled that, but essential recipe, 3 tablespoons melted cocoa, 3 tablespoons cacao powder, and we're gonna take the powder and put it just right into the melted coconut oil. And I melted the coconut oil on a double boiler. Really handy as part of my double boiler. I'm just gonna kind of show you how I set it right on this corner and then it like sits just inside the water. That was how I melted the coconut oil, right? Which is really handy. Then I take a towel, pick this up, it's nice and hot. It's not hot anymore, but then you have it all in one spot. You don't need to put it in a bowl and make another dish and get it all dirty and blah, blah. So you just whisk it together really, really well. And then the maple syrup is my preference. And for that, again, 3 tablespoons coconut oil, 3 tablespoons cacao powder, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. This is a larger portion, like I said, so just note that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You'll add 1. You just set that there. Whisk, whisk, whisk. And then vanilla is a 1/4 teaspoon. Again, I've doubled this recipe, so I'm gonna add 2, but you can add just 1 of these 1/4 teaspoons, and then pinch of salt. And since I doubled it, 2 pinches of salt. And now we have the basis for chocolate, raw chocolate right here. From here, sometimes it's nice to add a little orange zest. But I wouldn't go too heavy on any kind of flavoring that would sink down to the bottom. You can put those in after we put it in our molds. So just whisk it up nice and good there. For fun, like I said, I'm gonna just put in some orange zest, organic of course. I washed it. Stay put there, okay. Just give that a little flavor. I made it this way a couple weeks ago and it turned out really nicely. So just have a bit of zest. Got some nice relaxing music playing in the background. Okie dokie. Great. So I can give that one more stir. And then the fun part is give it a little taste. That's lovely. So if you preferred it a little bit more sweet, you could add a little bit more. Very easy like that. So now we get to pour it into molds, and this is why I love this recipe, because it's just really so easy. So what I have are these silicone ice cube molds. I also bought this sort of fancier one, but what you can also use is any kind of flexible plastic mold. And the trick to it is, if you're gonna use one of these guys, is that you only wanna fill it up a little bit. And it's like, I don't know what, a small amount, a very thin layer. Like you can think about some nice artisanal chocolate bar, you know, it's very thin. And that way, once you pop it out, it'll be easy to pop out and easy to cut. Since I let this sit for a minute, just gonna give it another whisk, just to make sure everything's well distributed. If you prefer a sweetener besides maple syrup, I really kind of caution that because honey doesn't fully dissolve and sugars don't fully dissolve either. So maple or stevia, something liquid, is really the best thing. So here we go. Even though I could fill these all the way to the top, I'm not going to because they're easier to pop out if you just fill the little bottom part up to the colored rim. And honestly, this chocolate is so rich. This is dark chocolate. It's not milk chocolate, right? So it's so flavorful that you really don't even need very much per bite. So I just filled these like that. Again, if I was using this little plastic mold, here's how I do that. that should do it. I'll just let that spread out. Yeah, so then these go in the freezer. And within about 15, maximum 20 minutes, you pop them out, pop it onto your cutting board, cut, or in that case, pop it out into your mouth. But that's it, my friends. Straight into the freezer it goes. Once the chocolate is all finished, please keep it in the fridge. And then when you're ready to eat it, pull it out maybe 5 minutes before you're ready so that it can soften just a little bit, and then melt the rest of the way in your mouth. Enjoy.